get this started here. Let's see here. All right, I think I got it. And yeah, okay, good enough. All right, so weekend was looking good here. We have the VIX coming down a little bit over the weekend here on the overnight session, I should say, till 8ish, and then a little bit of a pop up here, almost down to key levels. 16.9 here is actually where we want to see lost. Bounced a little bit here up to the 4-hour 9. Has retraced a little bit there as well. Hopefully we can see that kind of push down and have a really nice easy day. Please don't forget that we have on the 11th, which is tomorrow, the contract change. So contract change will change the numbers around here. It doesn't change any of the function or the structure, but it adds a layer of confusion to everybody in terms of numbers. So I'm going to wait till that pops up, and then I'll reset the levels for everybody once we get there. ES again, nice little rise over the weekend. Then we have the this morning candle starting 2 a.m. coming back down here, retesting the 4-hour 9. Looks very, very smooth. Retests aren't bad at all. This 4-hour 9 has breached the 4-hour 20, just coming back to reconfirm that and hopefully spike back on up. Like to see today, so SPY Friday, 77320. We're just below those levels right now. Um, and well within range here. We have not actually touched the 4-hour 9 in quite some time. This might be an easy opportunity for a simple backtest here to get that rolling, and so we will focus on that uh, to make sure that happens here. Could push us back up and get up over these highs here. We're close though. We're close to all-time highs. Trying to look at this structurally from in terms of bounce points where we're going to head to if we're going to retrace after that, etc. So just be cautious this week as we go. Going to have some longer term views on this as well. Here's Bitcoin. Had the trend line. Told you I wanted to break out Sunday. It didn't. It flattened out here. So that flattened out will likely push us back down to the 63,800, and then we'll do this game all over again. So nothing exciting here on Bitcoin because of that. Head on over to the war chart. We've got our oil here at 79, so a little bit elevated versus last week. VIX we already went through, and then here we are at ES on the overnight session. So you can see where Friday session uh, ended, and then we had the kind of the Friday evening going up into where does it go to? Yeah, going up into here, excuse me, into stop. Where is it? Here we go. Into 10 o'clock ish before it shifted over. And then we have the overnight, last night coming down with a little bit of a retracement down here, 4-hour 9 on the bottom. Um, and bouncing off here. Defeating the 5-minute 9 here pushes this up. Looking for Asia high 77.96 for a potential initial rejection if we spike up, which I think we may. And then floor obviously 77.65 from Fridays or after hours. So pretty big range today. And I don't see a significant lot of movement here. Could be some action tomorrow. One thing I do want to point out is data, um, which for some reason, here we go. Data is, hold on, my filters got whacked. Here we go. There we go. Data. Tuesday, tomorrow, we have employment changes, home sales. Wednesday, we're looking at CPI. So Wednesday is a big day for some movement here to check out inflationary rates. Again, this could be high. I'd like to see us look at long-term stuff, decisions tomorrow before CPI. If that comes in hot, that could be affecting kind of everything around the clock. So going to be very cautious as we go into Wednesday. Tuesday could be, a larger day for us to to look at making some changes here. SPY on the 4 hour, we went through SPY area there. Let's just look at the daily real quick so you can kind of see here. Here we are in the channel. Breakout range today is going to be up here in the 779 range for a push. Again, we're bouncing off this channel now that we have in here. So a breakout push would push this much, much higher. And that is very, very possible. Qs are actually sitting at 723. We're looking at 722 right now with a potential bounce off the 4-hour 9. So Qs would be nice to see that bounce off the 4-hour 9 here on the daily and push on up higher. If we can get into, if we can hold 724 today on the close, that would be excellent. We did peak out at 728. 728. 726, I think. 726 on the overnight. 726.82. So peaking out there is roughly, yeah, roughly in this range right here. So a little bit lower high than last week. This is in the overnight session here. So when I see it take this pink line, 725.64, take that line today would be great. If not, we're going to fall back to the weekly 9 and bounce off of there. NVIDIA getting punished slightly here today, slightly below the 24-hour 9. Regular trading hours 4-hour 9 is way down. It'll be up on the open. This is the this number won't change until the open comes, but obviously this lift will get us there. Things look good here on that 24-hour 4-hour 20 here at 220-ish for support. Last supports were here and here. You can see them. Looking to see that again change and keep this running. Entries are good here. This exit is from last week. I'm going to leave the exit out of the way for right now. We will look at this as we get further into the day today. Monday mornings tend to have a little bit of action, and so we can see things run there. Soxel. So here's the story for the week is whether Soxel holds this level here and pushes on up into the 170, 180 range. I think we will see that happening today if we hold this 4-hour 9 and push through. We have the RTH 4-hour 9 here down to 133, which is ways away. This formation looks pretty good though. 4-hour 9 has reconstructed over the 20, and we're pushing higher here. A little bit of a back test in the morning, which is very similar to what we see on ES, sponsored by the VIX, of course. So this looks okay. I like the chart here. We still are on our trend line here. If we can hold that trend line, we can continue to push higher. That'll give me the indication by this afternoon in terms of what we should see for Wednesday. Once I know a little bit more about what Wednesday is going to look like, we can get some guidance on longer and shorter term contracts here. But looks like we could be looking for that pullback that I was talking about. So maybe some thinning in the near future here might make some sense. And so I'm going to give you guys guidance towards this afternoon on that. Here is Soxel on the daily. We've got again, running into the same kind of chatter we had here. We're still in this breakdown range here. I shouldn't say breakdown, but we're still in this kind of this breakout range from before with failure. So we're trying to break out of that, and we've got 10 foot increments here. So next shot is going to be getting us into the 150s over this pink line here into that. So looking to see if we can take that today. That would be excellent for us. MU, very similar. Charts are slightly different, but very similar. But we've lost the trend line here on this on the overnight. So looking to see MU take that back. If not, that could affect the cohort. So we have to be careful with MU here. Again, this is all going higher. It's just a matter of doing all this within the time frames that fit you guys for your contracts, which makes it a little more exciting. CRDO on the pop over the weekend here. A little bit of pullback again at 4-hour 9. This should hold. We could see some action actually bring us back down to the weekly 9 here, which is roughly 237.18 on a pullback. Again, this is going to be a nice range to trade in today, so look out for that. I believe we'll see CRDO kind of with the pullback to initiate here, followed by a deep swing higher, or build higher. So something similar to Friday. Yeah, this is Thursday's a little too deep. I don't think it's going to be that deep. Yeah, similar to this here. We've got 251 on the We're at 249, so we're going to open up a little bit higher, and then we'll see a little bit of pullback, and then we can range it after that. CoreWeave's recovering here. My nervousness on this one is the double top formation here, the breakout range here is struggling very, very hard to stay over that 90.75. So I want to see that happen here. We need this to break out from here, and then we can start talking about CoreWeave again. So very, very close to getting back on the map with CoreWeave. It's very clustered here. There's a lot going on here. I got a lot of a lot of instructionals on here too for you guys. But yeah, let me thin that down a little bit. Let's get on up above this. Let's call it the 4-hour 370 here. Would give us a good break range to go from. But you can see that what I'm concerned about here is the trend. Trend line is coming swooping in. We haven't reached a new peak there. Current trend line as it sits looks like this, right? So that's not what we're looking to play with, and CoreWeave is still in a little bit of trouble here, even despite all of its breakout here. So consolidation here, a little bit of a recoil potentially, but I want to see the breakout before we fix all that. AMD, similar situation as MU, losing the trend line in the overnight session. It just barely held on to it in the in one section here on the close, I should say. Barely held on to that to the trend line. Lost it here. I think we're going to see recovery to pull that together. Tesla gave back some ground in the overnight here, back testing the 24-hour 9, 328.65 right now, which is about 2 points off the close. So not too far off of here. This is healthy. Tesla could slip. 324 is where I want it to hold, which is be the 4-hour 20 down here. That would give me the most support possibilities. Reclaiming this trend line also would be key if we can grab that. We're currently in a lower section of the channel. Just going to give you kind of a baseline look at what that looks like here. So we need to bounce off that and get it back into breakout range so we can get back up to those highs that we know Tesla can do. SpaceX trying to take its run forever here. We will see where this goes. This is going to, in my opinion, going to come back down. I am not adding to the short right now either. I'm just going to let it sit, let this settle on its own. Let's see what today's traffic brings for SpaceX, and get us back down into these lower 100s. But wow, what a run it's had over the last couple days here. Friday especially, obviously. Apple's giving it back a little bit. This was my concern on Friday. We had some levels that we needed to defeat. We consolidated here. We have our wedge coming in here. Broke off the wedge and is breaking down. Apple is going to be a tough one to reconstitute here. More than likely, Apple kind of back tests some of these lows down here, probably in the 304, 305 range, before and breaks down under London low before it recovers back up again here. So just be on the caution for Apple here. I know a couple of you hold the position, and this needs to work itself out. Eventually, it goes on up. So depending on the length of your contract, you should be able to determine what you want to do. But don't expect anything, any miracles from Apple this morning. Amazon, just checking my time. Actually, moving pretty quick today. That's good. Amazon in the wedge, looking to test the bottom of the wedge here. We're at the lows in the overnight session currently. Wedge bottom for today is roughly 272.5. Should see that pop in there. It looks like we got one more run in this wedge before it decides to break down and break out. And I think we should see that probably tomorrow. Yeah, by tomorrow. 24-hour chart, definitely by tomorrow. Netflix on the trend line. So still holding that trend line. It's actually RTH. Let's see, real time. What we got here? 74. So we are, right there on that trend line there. Want to break out from this range here. Obviously, we've defeated with a triple attempt here on, excuse me, last week on Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday. Friday brought us some recovery here to the midpoint. If that midpoint doesn't hold, if we can't break out of that midpoint range like 74.50, then we will backtest and we will lose this trend line entirely and head back on down for a retracement. Google's trying to consolidate here with a push up. It's finally above the 4-hour 9, 4-hour 20 steaming down at it. So it's got a little bit of consolidation here. Anytime between the 4-hour 9 and 4-hour 20, remember that's compression. That compression will force it to pop into one direction or the other. The extent of that pop will obviously depend on what volume looks like. So currently looking for Google to continue to hopefully try to recover here. We'll reject that 4-hour 20 and then we'll come back and see if we can have these supports give it some action here. Meta's taking back control. Oop, I gotta undo that. Taking back control on the trend line here still. Okay, so I can extend this out. Let me see if I can grab that bottom there. Ugh, it's gonna be hard. All right. I just have to rough it here a little bit. Okay, there's that trend line. So you can see up and above that trend line still. Um, came back and grabbed it. So we had the run here, pop, and then we had the pop up here, recovery back on over to it, lost the 4-hour 9, 20 looped over, and then we're back in support and above the trend line. So actually Meta looks pretty good right here. Trying to, let's see if we can get this to continue to push up. This one might be our performer this week for sure. Had consolidation all last week. Left to right, look at that, did nothing. But a little bit of coiling, very slight, nothing major, and then a pop up. We've taken out some new highs here from the past week, and we've broken above the cap of this line here, this kind of wedged trend here. So pushing up above that should give us some more room to grow higher here. All right, and let's see if anything's changing over here. Now everything looks pretty much the same from that perspective. Ginger's off this week. He will be sending us pictures of portholes and dolphins down in Cozumel while he is with his children running amok in Mexico. All right, and want to cover anything? You guys have any questions on anything else? Oh, you said Riot there. I didn't see that before. That was from Friday though. But let's see. Let's take a look at Riot. Where is Riot? I usually have it right here. Oh, isn't that odd? Did I lose it? Oh, here we go. Riot. All right. On the RTH, let me switch this over here so we can get a little better view what's going on here. MAs are going to be wrong on this, but let me just look at this way. Okay, so we just saw earlier today Mara dropped, I think, a couple of $1 billion worth of Bitcoin onto the open market. That will probably push Riot down into a little bit of negativity here as well. So yeah, you can see that drop from the announcement there from Mara. They run in the same cohort. I like Riot a little bit better because of its its electric supply is somewhat buffered by their own processes here. But yeah, you can't beat the fact that if the miners are forced to sell a little bit, that's going to put a little damper on all of them. So we're going to see Riot kind of pull back a little bit into this as well. Might as well look at the others here on the Leap side. BBAI on a nice little pop here. Let's see here, 323. So not much over the weekend here at all. But in the overall, you can see that we've kind of come down, seen our dip here, pull back up. So this is definitely on the pullout. We needed to take a couple levels here in order to actually break out again. 362, as well as the ultimate high here of 509 puts us back into kind of reaching those 10s again. We remember we saw last year 8s and 10s. I'd like to see BBI in there. That's why we buy Leaps and we add to them down to these levels here. Rich Tech is doing the same thing. So same exact thing on the Leaps perspective. So 315 is going to be the target for the breakout. 160 right now. You know, looking at this here. I don't know how many times we've added a couple to this thing because they're so cheap, but I don't want to overdo it with a gazillion of them. So look at that if we can. All right, MHM, you missed Soxel. All right, let's just look at it back here again. So Soxel on the trend line here. Want to stay above that trend line if we can. Looking to see where we're going to be towards the afternoon here to determine any trimming on longer term contracts. I know we've got a bunch of people who are heavy long-term contracts on Soxol. I'm concerned about Wednesday's reports. So today would be the decision day if we're going to trim back or something like that. If we have high inflationary numbers there that could have an effect on us longer term. There's been a lot of Fed back and forth in terms of capitulation with Trump or fighting against it and stuff like that. So it's making me a little uneasy in terms of how the data is actually going to affect the Fed. So let us see if we can get some action out of this today, and then we can start to be a little bit more discerning about our longer term play. I auction, yeah. So we'll do that, and then I'll get everything listed up. Just side note, I forgot to tell you guys, I am making a run out this today. I am not going to be able to be here for the 1 p.m. call. But I will try to narrate some stuff prior to me heading out. I'm going to be on the road for an hour or so, but anything super important, I will be pointing it out to you. I don't expect us to have a super exciting day here at all, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be rather slow, but will get me some MAs aligned so that I can actually help with decision making going into Wednesday. So I think today we'll get a little bit of a pullback push, and then we'll set some levels here. I don't think we're going to be probably not reaching any new all-time highs today, but we are in range to do so. So you never call it out. You never know how excited Wall Street gets on a low volume day, and today should be a pretty low volume day. All right. What else we got, guys? Anybody want to go through anything else? All right. We got about 10 minutes prior to the open. I'm going to get the video pushed out and put up there for everybody, and then we'll see if we can get these back tests out of the way with SPY and all that stuff, and then a push up on higher a little bit. I don't. You can see the consolidation here on not consolidation. You can see the compression in these candles in terms of the fact that they just don't have these massive wicks or massive size. So you see these big candles here on the run up. Okay, and then you see prior to that, you can see some smaller candles with the compression. We have a big candle here. All these bigger candles are volume and movement. Here's compression in a consolidation range here. Then you have the drop, okay, follow through, and then the pop. So what we have here is we have some compression. These candles, just not a lot of volume, not a lot of push, not a lot of energy in here, just kind of meandering around a little bit. That's what I'm hoping for today as well. It gives us a little bit of context going into Wednesday in terms of reactionary. Anybody who's planning is making some decisions today into tomorrow, and that's where I want to be. So I do want to, Red Eye, I want you to watch out for comments on Soxel today too, MHM. You as well. Guys, longer term contracts, I may ask you guys to trim down towards the end of the day or into tomorrow, so that we can just start kind of offloading a little bit. We should probably start gauging percentages of portfolios a little bit here, getting into this time frame, just because we're getting close to where my markers were on this stuff. We haven't hit those highs that I wanted to on Soxel, obviously, yet. And they may come anyway, but that doesn't mean we have to be 100% in there. Worst case scenario, okay, just spell it out for you guys. Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is we come back and retest these lows. We're not going lower than this right now. I don't see that at all. But worst case scenario is we could come back and backtest like the monthly 9. Not today. Don't start running around. What I'd like to see happen is I'd like to see those heavy Soxel portfolios look at trimming out a little bit here, and just be prepared with some stop losses during the day, and then some decision making, and ask me questions at the end of the day prior to the close, so I can get on it with you guys and make sure that you're steady here, so that we don't go. If we make the run, then great, then that's fine. And there are some trigger points too. I need the Qs up a little higher. 725.30 is what I'm looking for on the Qs, which will help support this too. Obviously, whenever we start to see everybody losing their trend lines, like MU lost its trend line, AMD lost its trend line, these are all first level indicators that there could be something there. There also could be false flags, which they tend to be more often than not. So Soxel is holding the trend line, so I wanna see that, use that as my barrier. But again, don't want to be 100% invested as we get closer to potential rejections. So, oh, and Intel's crashing too. Well, what did here's Intel. Yeah, so where are we? Yeah, Intel 98. Yeah, yeah, Intel's got a nice little push down here. That is great. Ooh, I gotta get off my. There we go. Yeah, so we have support here that we got to look for again down in here. Yep. Okay. Well, we'll see if Intel can take back its down channel here and go up. We do have it's lost its uptrend, right? Here, I'll just draw it out for you guys. Here's your uptrend right there. It just lost its uptrend today. Here, let me make this a little more clear for you guys. Zoom in. There, you know what? There's too much here. This is not salvageable. How about that? Okay. Now we do this over. Sorry, guys. Wasn't ready for this one, but we do have some time, so let me give it to you. So here's our trend line. We lost this morning, right? So this is also in this kind of similar boat. Not really too concerned about Intel right here either, though. We do have a lot of other supports here. Daily 9 actually should give this some interaction here too. But yeah, Intel is oh, it's moving back, trying to recover in here. I don't know what happened here. I didn't actually read it to see what was pushing there, but you guys got the picture. So, Red Eye, I know you were listening. I saw you here. MHM was here, so he could listen. And then I got a couple other guys I got touch base with on that too. And then One Mom Apple, you need to grab me on your thing there. Make sure you're okay on that one. All right. Anybody else have anything else they need me to cover? All right. Send me DMs if you're confused. Questions, not DMs. Ever send me a DM. Open a ticket. Open a ticket and send me a ticket, or pop me a ticket if you have questions, specifics on your stuff, so I can see what I can see there. But overall, I think the big one for today is going to be the Qs and Soxels. Performance today, which I expect to hopefully turn from this back test here and give us some positive momentum. And then I want to determine where we want to potentially start taking some profit and thinning the position a little bit so that we can prepare for something that may not come. But let's not be too let's not be too fickle. Let's make sure we keep our profits in place. All right, guys. That's all I got for today. Again, I will not be here. I'm going to put it in the thing, but I will not be here at the 1:15. But I am around. I'm going to be driving, so whatever. A couple of you guys stole my phone number from the internet, so you can text me. Whatever it is, I will. I'll be around. Checking in though on that, and I don't leave until like 1 o'clock, so my time. So it's right before the call, unfortunately, that I'm going to be tearing out of here. So I will be here and making sure that anything I see, I post on the trading floor for all to see. All right, guys, thank you. I think that is all I have.